Starting this week, YouTube has a new CEO, and with this change in leadership becomes a lot of potential new plans and ideas and things that might be changing in the future. There's a lot of speculation about that. I'm going to share you through what that is and what I think might happen as a result of the new leadership change at YouTube. That's coming up. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer, and it is Tuesday. Time to look at some online video news from last week and talk about the implications that it has for us as creators. And this change has a lot of significant implications potentially. So for the past couple of years, a guy named Salar Kamangar has been leading YouTube as the CEO, and he has done an amazing job at leading YouTube up to where it is. It's growing very successfully, like tons of video content is coming here all the time. There's people making full-time incomes. There's other people struggling to make full-time incomes. But overall, like, this guy has done a really good job. But it kind of hit a wall, and now there's some very difficult things ahead that YouTube needs to tackle. For example, tackling the television advertising industry. How can they get more television ad dollars over to YouTube? But to get all that advertising revenue from television and other places into YouTube is not nearly as simple as you think it is. So thus, they have instated a new CEO here at YouTube. Her name is Susan Wojcicki, and she has been a Google executive for many number of years now. She's actually the 16th employee that Google ever hired, and she actually has a really strong connection with the founders of Google because Google actually started in this lady's garage, and then it just kind of grew from there. Then eventually they hired her on. She was the very first marketing person they have, and before coming over to YouTube, she was overseeing and in charge of all the advertising on Google, which, as you guys know, is like billions and billions of dollars. She has grown that from what it was like nothing to this massive thing that's like billions of dollars that makes Google the force that it is. In fact, many sources have previously claimed that she is the #1 most important and influential person in the world of advertising. She also has some television experience in her background, so that will definitely be a help and a plus when she comes over to YouTube. And the main thing that stands out to me, though, is what Google CEO Larry Page said about her in his formal announcement about this transition. He said this: "Susan has a healthy disregard for the impossible and is excited about improving YouTube in ways that people will love." The second part kind of sounds like it's something that's just thrown in, to kind of make it sound all fluffy and flowery. Like, yes, people will love what she's going to do. Like, we kind of get that part. But the first part is that she has a healthy disregard for the impossible. Tells me that they know they have some really big things they've got to tackle. So what's going to change as a result of Susan being here? Well, there's a lot of speculation going around about that. One, some people say, well, maybe she's finally going to be able to change this revenue split. So some people are thinking like there's going to be all these different tiers of revenue. So like one, if you kind of just uploaded one video, you would get like a lower split, and then if you upload once you hit a certain subscriber level, then you get like a more favorable split up to maybe up to if you have like 500,000 or more subscribers, then you'll have like an 80-20 split, like 80% goes to you, 20 goes to Google, to kind of make this more sustainable and reward the people who are investing into Google and to YouTube the most. Some people are saying actually she's not going to do any of that. It's just going to be like a great influx of advertising spending that she's going to be bringing from like the television industry and other places where there's tons of ad money being spent, and she's going to be able to get that money transition from those places onto YouTube. So the split doesn't actually have to change. Everyone will just make more money anyway because there'll be more money in the space and CPMs will be higher and all that kind of stuff. And others are saying there's no hope for YouTube. Like, there's nothing she can do to fix any of it. It is an impossible situation. The trajectory that YouTube is on is always like already on the downhill. Like, it's just going to be a matter of time until a competitor comes up and gobbles it up, Like, these are all speculations, right? Like, no one really knows exactly what's going to happen. It's very well possible, and this is kind of what I think, is something's going to happen that none of us expect. I think that given her track record and her expertise, that something will happen that'll just, we will either hate it or love it, or it'll just be like kind of a lateral move. But like whatever it is, I don't think it's actually predictable. But what I do think will happen is that some people who had previously just kind of given up hope on YouTube and thinking like nothing's going to change, always going to be the way it was, I think this is like a sign that there will be changes coming sometime in the future, and that some of those people who are kind of like just kind of disregarded YouTube and just kind of like what's what I'm looking for? I don't know. They're just like disenchanted with YouTube now or something like that. Those people might actually now have a little bit bit more interest, maybe there's a little bit more hope, and maybe there's some people now who are like, oh, maybe I'll stick around and see what happens. As always, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below about what changes, if any, do you think we can start expecting around here in the YouTube world in the next year or two or whatever, even if with things you don't think she's going to do, but things that you hope would happen here and change as a result of this leadership change and turnover as we head into something that I'm going to call YouTube 2.0. Also, one other announcement for you guys that came out last week is that YouTube will now be randomly auditing different YouTube channels to check for fake views. Now, I know any of you guys who are watching this channel hopefully aren't buying views. Like, if you don't know why you shouldn't be doing that, check this video out right here. I talk about it extensively about why buying views and subscribers is a really bad idea and will actually really hurt your channel. So hopefully none of you guys are, but if you are, stop. And then two, the other thing is with this is you've got to be careful about who you're partnering your channel with. Even though you might not be buying views, but if you've kind of given the reins of your YouTube channel to someone else, or you partnered with a different company or agency to help you with different projects or something, make sure that they also are not buying views or getting views illegally, because even though this will only affect a very small percentage of channels and views on YouTube, now that they are part of like the Nielsen Corporation, which is like, you know, monitoring the analytics of views on television shows, like now that YouTube's actually kind of up in that world, now they want to make sure that every view is accounted for, that they're all legitimate, and they need to be like super careful about all that. So you guys do as well, so make sure you're not doing any of that stuff. If you want to read more about Susan Wojcicki and some of the things that people are saying about her and what they're expecting will change and happen, I'll put a couple links to a couple different interesting articles in the description text below this video, so you guys can go check those out if you want to read some more. Also put some links down there about the whole YouTube checking your views thing, and so if any of that interests you, go check those out. And if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Every Tuesday we take a look at online video news and talk about what it means for us as creators here on this platform called YouTube. And then tomorrow on Wednesdays, I give you guys some YouTube tips, ideas, and suggestions and advice. And then on Thursdays, do some YouTube Q&A where I answer a question that one of you guys has about the audiences you're developing, the channels you're building, your content, whatever. So that's all coming up this week. Subscribe, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. See you then. Bye.